Have you ever wondered where the sweet magic of sugar comes from? Let's take a journey back in time to the ancient civilizations of India around the year 350 AD. This is where the story of sugar begins. Sugar, as we know it today, was first mentioned in Indian texts. This may surprise you, but sugar was initially used as a medicine. Yes, you heard it right. The sweet granules we sprinkle on our morning cereals were once a remedy. Not only that, but it was also utilized as a spice, adding a touch of sweetness to the otherwise spicy Indian cuisine. The process of refining sugar was a closely guarded secret in ancient India. This sweet substance was considered a rare and precious commodity. It was so valuable that it was often offered as a gift to kings and noblemen, and sometimes even used as a form of currency. As trade routes expanded and the world became more interconnected, the secret of sugar slowly spread from India to the Middle East and eventually to Europe. It was in the Middle East where sugar began its transformation from a medicinal remedy and spice to a sweetener, a role that it continues to play in our lives today. Now, let's talk about the word sugar. The term sugar has an equally sweet origin. It comes from the Sanskrit word sharkara, which means gravel or sand. This probably refers to the granulated form of sugar that we are so familiar with today. So, the next time you enjoy that sweet treat, remember, it has a history dating back thousands of years. A history that has seen it transform from a medicinal remedy to a spice, and finally to the sweetener that adds a dash of sweetness to our lives. So, the next time you sip your sweetened coffee or relish a piece of cake, remember to appreciate the sweet journey of sugar from ancient India to your plate. Ever thought about how sugar goes from a plant to your pantry? Well, let's dive into the fascinating process that transforms sugarcane or sugar beet into the sweet crystals we know and love. It all begins in the fields where these plants are grown. Once they reach peak sweetness, the plants are harvested and sent off to a processing plant. The first step at the processing plant is extraction. The sugarcane or beet is crushed, and water is added to extract the sweet juice. For sugarcane, this juice is called cane juice, and for sugar beets, it's called beet juice. Pretty straightforward, right? Next, we move on to the clarification process. The extracted juice is heated, causing impurities to rise to the surface. These impurities are skimmed off, leaving behind a clear juice. But we're not done yet. This clear juice then goes through a process called concentration. It's heated again until much of the water evaporates, forming a thick syrup. This syrup is now rich in sugars, but still isn't in the form we need. So we move on to the final step, crystallization. The syrup is further boiled under vacuum, which allows it to cool down and form sugar crystals. These crystals are then spun in a centrifuge to remove any remaining liquid and dried to give us the final product, the white sweet crystals that we call sugar. But wait, what about brown sugar, you may ask? Well, brown sugar is simply white sugar with some molasses added back in for a richer flavor and color. So the sugar you love so much undergoes quite a journey before it reaches your home. From the fields through extraction, clarification, concentration, and crystallization, each step is crucial in transforming the humble sugarcane or beet into the sweet treat that sweetens our lives. Curious about how much sugar the world consumes? Well, let's take a sweet journey around the globe. From the bustling streets of New York to the serene landscapes of Japan, sugar has found its way into the hearts and homes of people worldwide. It's fascinating how this sweet little crystal has a significant place in every culture, in every country. Speaking of countries, did you know that the United States is one of the top consumers of sugar in the world? Yes, indeed. The average American consumes around 75 pounds of sugar every year. That's about 17 teaspoons of sugar every day. But don't be so quick to point fingers. The sweet tooth isn't exclusive to America. Germany, the Netherlands, and Australia also top the list in sugar consumption. It's not just the developed countries either. Developing nations like Brazil and India have seen a surge in sugar intake in recent years. Now let's talk numbers. Since the 1960s, the global sugar consumption has nearly tripled. Today, the world consumes a staggering 184 million metric tons of sugar every year. That's enough to fill about 73,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. This surge in sugar consumption didn't happen overnight. It's been a gradual climb, fueled by the growth of the food and beverage industry, the rise in fast food culture, and the increasing affordability of sugar. But it's not all sweet news. With the rise in sugar consumption, health concerns have also skyrocketed. Obesity, diabetes, heart disease, the list goes on. But that's a topic for another scene. For now, let's marvel at the global love for sugar. From a humble plant to a worldwide sensation, sugar has truly come a long way. It's in our celebrations, our comfort food, our daily lives. It's hard to imagine a world without it. Sugar, it seems, has a sweet hold over the entire world. Ever pondered what too much sugar can do to your body? Well, it's not just about the cavities, my friends. Excessive sugar consumption can lead to a host of health issues. Let's dive in and explore the bitter side of sugar. Firstly, sugar is a major culprit behind weight gain and obesity. How so? It's quite simple, really. Sugar is high in calories and provides no essential nutrients. When we consume more sugar than our bodies can use for energy, the excess is stored as fat. Over time, this can lead to significant weight gain. Next up is tooth decay. Sugar feeds the harmful bacteria in our mouths, leading to the formation of plaque. If not properly dealt with, this plaque can lead to cavities and, in severe cases, tooth loss. But the effects of sugar don't stop at the mouth. Consuming too much sugar can also increase the risk of heart disease. High sugar diets lead to obesity, high blood pressure, inflammation, and high levels of triglycerides, all of which are risk factors for heart disease. And then there's type 2 diabetes. Consuming excessive amounts of sugar can lead to insulin resistance, a key factor in the development of this condition. But that's not all. There's a lesser-known consequence of high sugar intake: non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This condition occurs when too much sugar overloads the liver, leading to fat buildup. Sugar consumption has also been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, premature aging, mood swings, and digestive issues. It can cause inflammation, weaken the immune system, and even impair cognitive function and memory. Now we might be painting a grim picture, but it's important to remember that these effects are linked to excessive sugar consumption. A little sweetness in our lives is not only okay, it's necessary. But as with everything, moderation is key. It's clear that excessive sugar consumption comes with a hefty price tag for our health. Let's continue our exploration in the next scene, where we'll discuss the hidden consequences of sugar. Stay tuned. Did you know there are hidden dangers in having too much sugar? On the surface, sugar seems harmless, a little sprinkle of sweetness to brighten our day. But delve a little deeper and you'll find that this sweet substance has a dark side. One of the lesser-known consequences of excessive sugar consumption is nutrient imbalances. When we consume foods high in sugar and low in essential nutrients, our bodies miss out on the vitamins and minerals necessary for optimal health. This can lead to deficiencies that affect everything from our energy levels to our immune system. Another hidden danger is the increased risk of kidney disease. Our kidneys are responsible for filtering waste from our bodies, and too much sugar can put a strain on these vital organs. Over time, this can lead to kidney disease, a serious condition that may require dialysis or even a kidney transplant. But the consequences don't stop there. Consuming too much sugar can also impair cognitive function. Yes, you heard it right. The sweet stuff can actually affect your brain, leading to memory loss and decreased cognitive abilities. It's a scary thought, isn't it? Not to mention, excessive sugar can also lead to digestive issues. It can disrupt the balance of bacteria in our gut, leading to problems like bloating, gas, and even irritable bowel syndrome. And guess what? It can also lead to mood swings and energy crashes. After the initial sugar rush, you'll likely experience a crash, leaving you feeling tired and cranky. Not exactly the sweet deal you thought it was, right? So the next time you reach for that candy bar or pour a spoonful of sugar into your coffee, remember these hidden consequences. It's not about completely eliminating sugar from our diets, but rather being mindful of our intake. Because while sugar may taste good, its effects can be anything but sweet. Wondering how much sugar you can safely consume in a day? Let's dive into the sweet or not so sweet details. Health associations around the globe have set guidelines on the maximum amount of sugar we should consume daily. However, these aren't one-size-fits-all, as they depend on factors like age, gender, and overall health. Starting with the little ones, children aged 2 to 18 should have less than 6 teaspoons of added sugar a day. That's about the same as one small apple. For toddlers under 2, it's best to avoid added sugars altogether, sticking to naturally occurring sugars in fruits and milk. Moving on to adults, The World Health Organization recommends limiting free sugars to less than 10% of your total daily calorie intake. For an average adult, that's roughly 12 teaspoons a day. To put it into perspective, that's just a little more than a can of soda. If you can cut it down to below 5%, even better for your health. What about gender? Well, men and women metabolize sugar differently. So, the American Heart Association suggests a limit of 9 teaspoons for men and 6 for women per day. Remember, these guidelines refer to added sugars, not those naturally occurring in fruits, vegetables, and milk. Added sugars are found in processed and prepared foods like cookies, sodas, and even some breads. But what if you have a health condition like diabetes or heart disease? In such cases, your doctor may suggest even lower sugar intake or replacing sugar with alternatives. It's important to note that these are maximum limits, not targets. Consuming less sugar is always better. Sugar, while it makes our food taste better, doesn't provide any essential nutrients. So, make a habit of reading food labels and choose products with less added sugar. And remember to balance your diet with plenty of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Remember, when it comes to sugar, moderation is key. So, what have we learned about sugar today? We began our journey by unearthing the sweet origins of sugar, a staple of our diets that was first discovered in New Guinea before spreading worldwide. We learned how this sweet substance is made, starting from the humble sugarcane or beet plant, and then undergoing a fascinating process of extraction, refinement, and crystallization to transform into the sugar we know and love. From there, we mapped out sugar's journey around the globe, becoming a beloved and vital ingredient in cuisines worldwide. But as we found out, this sweetness comes with a cost. It's not just about the sugar rush and tooth decay, there's a whole array of potential health risks tied to excessive sugar consumption. We delved into the bitter side of sugar, exploring how overindulgence can lead to weight gain and obesity, an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure. We also discussed how sugar can contribute to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, increase the risk of certain cancers, and even accelerate the aging process. We took a closer look at how sugar can affect our mood, energy levels, and cognitive function, potentially leading to mood swings and memory impairment. We discovered that our digestive system and nutrient balance can also be thrown off kilter by too much sugar, increasing the risk of digestive issues and nutrient deficiencies. Finally, we touched on the safe sugar limit, according to health associations. The key takeaway: moderation is key. Sugar, a sweet treat with a complex history and a potentially bitter impact on health. Stay informed, stay healthy, and remember, everything in moderation.